Good afternoon, world. This is Ivan Omer here again. This is going to be my Chapter 3 read along of my Lord of the Rings series. I hope you guys enjoyed my last video where I talked about self publishing versus traditional publishing. How I said what. I hope you guys who watch my videos now understand why I believe self publishing is a better path to take than traditional publishing. As traditional publishing is in my opinion, is not the right path to take. Again, if you want to be famous in the public eye and you want to have your book signing sessions, you want to have Comic Cons, you want to be in the public eye, you want to be on the news, on the magazines, all that stuff, then traditional publishing is the way to go. But I'm just saying that comes at a price. You know, in return for fame and fortune, you what? You no longer have freedom and you what? And you're now a puppet. The publishing houses own you, and you don't have control over your novel, and you make way less money than self-publishing. Whereas if you self-publishing, you maintain your freedom, you make way more money. Obviously, you get fame. Obviously, if your book's a hit, you'll get fame. Obviously, but you're gonna get simple fame like YouTube interviews. You might even have a few. You might even have a few. You might even have a few book signing sessions, perhaps. But chances are it's not going to happen. As self-publishing, you're more simple. There's a good chance you're going to get the simple fame. Obviously, there's also one thing I want, right? And especially for someone who has a big audience, if you're someone who has a good, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 followers on your YouTube channel, or you have hundreds of thousands of followers on your YouTube channel, it's common sense. You self-publish a book as you already have a platform. Hence, if you self-publish, you maintain full control of your novel, you get your freedom, and because you already have an audience, there's no point of you wasting your time trying to get your book traditionally published. Obviously. But there's some people who self-publish who have a big audience. Chances are, if you're someone who self-publishes and you have a big audience, and your book's a hit, there's a good chance that traditional publishing houses might even approach you. And they might even say, "Hey, look, we know we heard your book's a hit. We want to bring you on as a client." A lot of self-publishing authors, some of them even choose to traditionally publish because like, I want to be famous in the public eye. But I'm saying if you traditionally publish, that comes at a price, man. As you lose control of your novel, you're no longer free. You're a slave. And in my opinion, especially if you're someone who has a big audience, it's common sense. Self-publish your book. Don't traditionally publish your book, as you'll maintain full control of your novel, and you'll make way more money than you as if you traditionally publish. But instead of being famous in the public eye, you'll get your simple fame. Like you get a lot of YouTube interviews, which is pretty cool. But you're not going to be on a Jimmy Fallon show. You're not going to be on the news. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be on the magazines. And if you're a huge hit, your book's a huge hit. There's a good chance you're going to be on the magazines, that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But in return, you only get like 10, 5, 50% of the royalties. That's why self-publishing is where it's at. Traditional publishing is not where it's at. And because I have the keys, it's obviously common sense. I'm not gonna have the traditional publishing house take 85% of the pie when I have the keys. I don't need their help. I can easily do the work myself. Because I have the keys, I'm gonna make my billions. There's no point of me selling in traditional publishing, where I can easily just release my book on Lulu, and I'll make 60% of the royalties. I maintain financial control over my book, and at the same time, me and my wife will be fucking famous. Obviously, but we're gonna get simple fame. So instead of you seeing the fame of Ivan in the public eye on the news, seminars, book signing sessions, Comic Con, as if I sold out, me and my wife would be doing Comic Cons. I'd be on the news. You see my book signing sessions. You see me on a Jimmy Fallon show. But the Steph Founders will take 85% of the royalties. I don't know, 95 to 85% of the royalties around there. When they're not worth my royalties. It's my hard work, my blood, sweat, and tears I put into my work. They would take a huge chunk of the pie off my book. Obviously, again, if you hear the noise, you're going to have to excuse the noise. There's people upstairs. Nowadays, I'm making my videos during the day. And, right? And just for the record here, I'm going to put a note here. That way you guys are not confused. Every time I start a video, I'm going to tell you what part I'm on. That way you know what part. That way whenever I upload my video, you guys can go over the videos. You'll know what part I'm on. So this is part 1. And then when I start my next video, I'll say this is part 2. That way you guys are not confused. Because my keyboard and my phone is not working. So when you guys search the videos, you'll know which part you're on. So I'll say this whenever I start my next part. I'll say this is part 2. When I start part 3, I'll say this is part 3. That way you guys are not confused. Because my keyboard on my phone's not working, and you have to bear with me. Hence why you see the date like September 11th, September 8th, or whatever it is. Because the keyboard on my phone's not working. So I have to... What I'll do is... within a couple days, I'm able to edit. I'm able to edit it, and once I'm able to edit, I could perhaps change the title. But for now, you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm gonna say part 1, part 2. This is part 1, and then when I start my next video, I'll say part 2, and then when I start my following video, I'll say part 3. That way, you guys are not confused. Obviously, right. So this is gonna be my read along of Fellowship of the Ring. I'm gonna continue where I left off. I finished chapter 2. I'm gonna give you a quick reiteration from what I remember. I'll babble on for 30 minutes and I'll start reading. This is going to be what? This is chapter 3 of the Lord of the Rings read along. And I'm now pushing almost 100 pages into Fellowship of the Ring. It's crazy how fast what? Ivan, it's very cool how Ivan's doing a huge read along with Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Going back to self-published traditional publishing. The only cool thing about traditional publishing, if I sold houses, you see me in the public eye, obviously. But me and my wife would not be free, would be dirty slaves, would be sharing with the world. Hence, me and my wife would be miserable. Every day, me and my wife wake up, we would have to have sex with, 4 or 5 people. Imagine having sex with 4 or 5 people every day for the rest of your life. Hence, me and my wife are dirty slaves, we're not free. Yeah, we're famous in the public eye, but that comes at a huge price. Me and my wife do not have each other all to ourselves. We're both trash. The world gets their full cake. They get to see our glory. You guys will be saved, obviously, because you want your full cake. You guys, no matter what, you guys want your full cake. We don't want Ivan and Vijay to have financial control. We don't want them to be billionaires, or we don't want them to have financial control. We want their relationship to be a mess. So have both of them share for the rest of their life. Even though we're God, we deserve to have each other all to ourselves. Whereas you guys have each other all to yourselves, and we can't. Your logic is fucking retarded, obviously. How would you feel how would you feel? Let me ask you this question, Will. How would you feel if I forced you, how would you woman feel if I forced you and your husband to share with hundreds of thousands of people around the world? How would you feel, man? Put yourself in my shoes. How would you feel if I forced you to share with hundreds of thousands of people for the rest of your life? How would you feel after already causing mess in my life? You forced me to share with 100,000 people. How would you feel? Let me ask all you men. How would you feel if I asked your precious wife, you and your precious wife, to share with hundreds of thousands of people for the rest of their life? How would you feel? Let me ask you, how the fuck would you feel? Oh, I feel like shit. I don't want anyone touching my husband. I don't want anyone touching my girlfriend, touching my wife. Okay, so double standards. When it comes to you guys, it's not okay for you guys would never ever agree to a deal like this. You guys would never agree to sharing for the rest of your life. But when it comes to Ivan and Vijay, it's a different standard. They don't have feelings. They're not humans. Let's have them share for the rest of their life because we can't let go of our envy. Because Ivan and Vijay are too beautiful. We can't let go of our envy. They have to share because you guys are reprobate and you're crazy and you're fucking hypocrites and you're psychopaths because you're fucking crazy people, man. You're nothing but a mess of a life made. Regardless of my envy, I would never ever force a couple to share. That's fucking evil. After causing mess in someone's life, and after doing that, you still want me and my wife to share because you guys are blind. You don't see your evil because you're completely blinded by your envy because you guys are reprobate. You're a mess that we have made. You don't see your evil because you're just so blinded by your envy. It's not until I come from death is finally going to hit your minds how wicked you are to the point where you guys are going to cry. And you're finally going to admit, yeah, man, we're crazy psychopathic people. We're nothing but a fucked up mess that I and VJ made. Yeah, man, you guys are nothing but a mess that we white made. You're a fucked up mess that me and white made, man. Obviously. Right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope now all you aspiring authors, you guys I gave you guys the 2 options, obviously. I talked in depth about traditional publishing, and I explained my reasons why I believe self-publishing is better, obviously. And I guarantee you a lot of aspiring authors who thought of traditionally publishing, I guarantee you a lot of them like, oh, thanks, Ivan, I'm now going to self-publish my own book. I'd rather self-publish and maintain full control of my novel, rather than taking that daunting path of finding an agent, receiving all those rejections, and getting a book publishing deal and receiving the rejections too, and have the companies take control of my novel, and I receive a small percentage of the pie. My agent takes 50% of the pie. Even if my book's a hit, imagine the amount of money I would have made if I self-published. I would have made way more money. I would have had my freedom and take control of my novel. And yeah, you see the difference, obviously. In other words, Imagine there's nothing worse than taking the traditional publishing route. You write a book, your book is a hit. I don't know, your book sells 10,000 copies. Obviously, you made a good chunk of change for yourself. Well, imagine had you self-published, you would have made way more money, and you would have maintained full control of your novel, and you would have gotten your freedom. Whereas, even though you're famous now and you're on the news, imagine the amount of money you would have made if you self-published. You would have made way more money. Hence why I'm going to keep harping on this. Self-publishing is the way to go. Traditional publishing is not the way to go. Traditional publishing is a big no. Big no. For me personally, there's some people who disagree with me. Oh, that traditional publishing is better. Look, in my opinion, okay, take this from me, okay. Take this from a guy who has the keys, who's going to be self-publishing his own book. I'm telling you right now, self-publishing is the way to go. Traditional publishing is not the way to go. I'm going to keep saying that. Self-publishing is the way to go. Traditional publishing is not the way to go. Self-publishing, you maintain full control of your novel, and you make way more money. Man. You make way more money. When I mean way more money, you make 3 to 4 times way more money than if you were traditional publishing. Had J.K. Rowling self-published today, she'd be worth like $3-4 billion, man. $3.54 billion. She's worth like $700 million. She got 50% of the royalties, so she made a good, I don't know, $700 million to $1 billion. If she self-published, she would be worth like $3-4 billion. Brandon Sanderson's only worth a couple million. Had he self-published, he'd probably be worth like $15-20 million, $30 million. George R. Martin is worth $60 million. Had he self-published, he'd be worth like $150-200 million. You see the huge difference, yeah, and he would have maintained full control of his novel. Obviously, right? He would have maintained full control of his novel. You see the difference. I guarantee you, I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you, I could be wrong, I guarantee you all these successful authors, J.K. Rowling and Stephen King, they published their books way before the internet era. But all the authors who published their books in the 2010s and up, so guys like Brandon Sanderson, I guarantee you even someone like him is like, man, I wish I self-published my book, because had I self-published my book, I would have maintained full control of my novel and my series, and I would have made way more money. Instead of being worth a couple $1 million, he would have been worth like $15-20 million if he self-published, $30 million if he self-published. Because self-publishing, you make way more money, you maintain full control of your novel. He wouldn't have got the public as much of the public fame, but he would be much richer, and he would get his simple fame, like his YouTube interviews. So you see the contrast, yeah. The only good thing about traditional publishing is your book looks more professional. Your books will be at bookstores, obviously, which is cool, obviously. And you get the public eye fame, but in return, the publishing companies own you because you sold your rights to them. You're a slave, you're a puppet. If they force you to write a 3-book series, you gotta write a 3-book series, and you make way less money. Even if they give you the high end, which is 50%, compare 50% to the 50-60% you're gonna make for your print, and a 70%, 60-70% you make from your ebooks. Huge difference. And you maintain full control of your novel. You don't have to worry about the publishing houses changing your story. As all these authors, there's a good chance the publishing houses change a few things in their story. They change some of the plot, they change some of the characters. You know what I'm saying? They change a bunch of stuff. And as the author, you have no say, because the publishing houses own you if you traditionally publish. And don't forget, your agent takes 50% of everything you make. 50% is a good chunk of the pie, man. Your agent takes 50% of everything you make, man. Everything you make, the agent takes 50% of everything. So if you make 5%, the agent takes 50% from your 5%. They don't take 50% from the publishing houses. No, they take 50% off your 5%. And you're making even less than 5% because the agent's taking 50% of whatever you make. Because the book publishing houses, yeah, they have costs obviously, but the book publishing houses are obviously very, very greedy, as they take a huge chunk of the pie. They take 95 to 85% of the pie. Whereas if you self-publish, Amazon or Lulu only takes like 40 to like 30% of the pie, and you maintain and you take the rest of the pie because it's your book, and you did the work yourself. You now maintain control of your novel. Depending on how you price your books, you now maintain full control of your novel, and you make way more money than what if you traditionally publish. Hence why self-publishing is the way to go, and traditional publishing is not the way to go. Obviously. Babble on for a good 15 minutes here, and I'll start reading Lord of the Rings. Obviously, if I remember what I read in the second half. Right, I remember a few things, obviously. Told you, I don't have a big USB, so just sometimes when I read books, I forget a lot of things that happen. So for all you Lord of the Rings fans, you have to bear with me, as I'm not as well grounded in Lord of the Rings. Now, I wasn't born with a big USB like a lot of these Lord of the Rings nerds who are well grounded in Lord of the Rings. So you have to bear with me if I make some errors, if I comment on my what when I read the Lord of the Rings. I hope you guys enjoy my Lord of the Rings series. I'm pretty pissed off because I spilled some coffee on my book. You can see the coffee stain here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the coffee? Yeah, you see the coffee stain there on the right, on my left, your right. You'll see the coffee stain on my book. I spilled some coffee. I'm pissed off about that. It didn't spill on my pages, but it spilled on the outer layer of my book. Hence I didn't take I took pretty good care of my book series, but I'm pissed off that I got some coffee stains on my book, obviously. Because this Lord of the Rings series, I'm gonna keep as treasury. Obviously, I might buy another edition, but you're just wasting money. There's some book nerds who buy like multiple editions. I'm like, you're just wasting money. I'm not gonna waste my money buying another set of Lord of the Rings. I'm just gonna keep this set as treasury. One set's enough, obviously, and I'll buy my Lord of the Rings movie collection on 4K, the 4K Blu-ray movie collection, special edition. I'm also gonna buy the Hobbit 4K Blu-ray collection. When I'm king, I'm gonna buy the 4K Blu-ray Lord of the Rings collection and the Hobbit 4K Blu-ray collection. I'm gonna have it in my condo. I might do a tradition where before Last of Us gets released, I'm gonna read the Lord of the Rings books again. I might not reread Lord of the Rings books, but I'll watch the movies to build excitement for my Lord of the Rings, for my Last of Us movie and my Last of Us documentary. I'll watch the movies because there's something about Lord of the Rings that builds hype for my Last of Us movie. Because Lord of the Rings is a fantasy world, Xehanort is a fantasy world. Hence why there's something about Lord of the Rings that builds excitement for Last of Us. Obviously, right? And again, you might hear the noise. You're gonna have to excuse the noise upstairs. So after I finish this video, I'm gonna go to the store, get beer and smokes again, and I'll enjoy the show. I might get shawarma, or I might just eat food at home. I don't know. My stepmother made hot dogs, so I might eat the hot dogs upstairs, or I might order shawarma again. I don't know. Saves me money, but I mean, the money that I make is for me to blow, obviously, right? Yeah, I have plenty of money to blow for a month. So I might get shawarma, or I might eat the hot dogs upstairs. I don't know. I might actually get shawarma. I'm craving shawarma. I've been ordering shawarma for the past like 5 days, getting beer and smokes. I've been watching my show on YouTube. My videos are interesting, obviously. Right, so I'm gonna keep saying this. My Last of Us book is 192,000 words. I'm gonna keep saying that. It'll be hardcover. It'll be sold on Lulu for $100. My print. It'll be one book, and the 3 volumes will be contained in one book. So it'll be one book like this. I'm gonna keep saying this. One book like this, 3 volumes stored in the one book, obviously. Right. So instead of me selling it as a series, I'm gonna sell it as one book, and the 3 volumes are stored in that one book. I'll sell it for $100, no more or less. If you don't want to pay $100 for the print, you can pay $22. You can buy the ebook on Lulu, which is cheap. Even though $22 is expensive for an ebook, because I want to make my 70%, I'm gonna price it for $22. That way I make more money for myself. I make a nice profit. And I'm pricing my print. As for print cost, you're probably looking at $35, $40. And so if I want to make a nice 60%, I have to price it for a good $100. That way Lulu makes her 40% and I get my 60%. And don't forget, PayPal is taking like, I don't know, 4%, 3.9% of the pie. PayPal is going to make a good like $400 million on my book sales. Hence why I don't want Amazon to charge me for the payments, as you're not getting a piece you're not getting a percentage of the payments. You get a flat 40%, I get a flat 60%. I'll delve more into that in my Swimming with the Sharks video, which I'll be making in a couple weeks from now. You're looking at a very interesting video for that. Obviously, and I'm gonna keep saying this. Well, the countdown's ticking, as you only have, I don't know, a month and like 20 days left of Ivan the Merriman. Because this late October, I'm making the announcement. Once I make that announcement, I'll take a couple of days off, get a smoke, and I'll take a nice walk. And then once I'm ready to face the gatekeepers, I'm gonna go upstairs and tell my family, "Hey guys, I'm done my book." And then once I tell them I'm done my book, they're gonna eventually, I don't know, a week later, they're gonna sit me upstairs. And their true nature is going to show. You guys are going to trap me with death or sharing, obviously. Either you sell and either you're rich and famous and you sell, you get to see your wife, but your wife is trash, she can't see you, and you and your wife will be sharing with millions of people forever for the rest of your life. And you guys are wicked people. Or you die for freedom with your wife, and you get financial control, and you get to start scholarships, you get your freedom, and you get your simple fame. And I'm obviously gonna choose death, as I'm not gonna let you do like that. I'd rather be single than have a trashy wife and share for the rest of my life. I'm not kidding around. I'd rather be free, get my fashion control, and be single than have a trashy wife, which is fucking gross, and share for the rest of my life as I want to be more trash. As me and my wife for 30 days, and at the same time you get your full cake. You see my glory at the same time, and you also have control of my finances. No fucking way. I'm choosing death. I'm not going to do my dad. As I want a fresh wife all to myself. I want VJ all to myself. As I don't want to be sharing with the whole world because I'm not interested in all these women. But you guys don't see because you guys are fucking crazy people, obviously. You want to allow me and my wife have each other all to themselves, even though we're God and we created this universe. You didn't create this universe. And you have the guts to tell me and my wife to share. Well, I would never force you to share, and yet you have the guts to have me and my wife share when you're not even fucking God. You guys are reprobate, crazy, wicked psychopaths, obviously. I'm not going to do that. And once I find out how wicked you are, I'm gonna cry my eyes out. I'm gonna pay this fee. You got your bullshit sex life. I'm gonna have sex with hundreds of, I don't know, hundreds to even, I don't know, 1,000 women. You're looking at a shitload of women I have sex with. So I was willing to save my virginity for my wife, and you're willing to have me have sex with hundreds to even 1,000 women before I can be with my wife. Hence, you made me pay a price to be my wife. Same time you got the mess that happened with her. You made me pay a price. Hence, once I'm king and I come out from death, and I cry my eyes out. You guys got your bullshit sex, you made your choice, and once I'm king and my wife's good with me, you're now left behind. You're going to cry tears because you're going to pay this perfect price. You're not going to be saved. You're going to be left behind. Only those lucky Joes and actors are going to be saved, and they're going to get to experience international fame with Ivan and VJ, while you guys are all left behind forever, as I'm not making any videos on my Savage channel forever. Because you're saying zero Ivan, zero VJ forever on the public eye, forever, obviously. Zero Ivan, zero VJ forever on the Savage channel. The only connection you're going to get to me is a trans online. You're going to see videos of me online, obviously, because fans are going to take videos of me and my wife when we're hanging out downtown, going out to dinner, when we're not the country. People are going to take videos and pictures. You're going to see those. The only connection you're going to get is trends, the videos of the trends and the pictures, the actors on the website, professional actors on the website, the documentary and the movie, and that's it, man. That's the only connection you're going to get to me and my wife, as everything is all behind the scenes. You chose to keep me and her behind the scenes and cause this mess. Had you not caused mess, you let me have my wife all to myself, you would have seen me in the public eye, you would have been saved. Because you guys are selfish, you want your full cake. No matter what, you want your full cake. You chose to cause mess in my life, cause mess in my wife's life. Hence what? Hence you reap what you sow, and when I'm your king, when you're left behind. Right? I keep saying it's a countdown's ticking, man. You only have about a month and a half, I don't know, a month and like 20 days left of Ivan America's. Late October, I'm making the final announcement, man. And once I make that final announcement, that is it for Ivan America. I'm not making any more videos for you. Because once I make that final announcement, I'm gonna go upstairs and let my family know I'm done my book. I'm like, hey guys, I'm done my book. I'm gonna tell them, look, I don't know, when I make the final announcement, I might wait a couple days, maybe wait 2-3 days, go to the store, get a smoke, take a nice walk at nighttime just to enjoy myself, because I know all hell's gonna break loose. Then once I'm ready, I'm gonna let my family know, hey guys, I'm done my book. They're gonna sit me upstairs, obviously, and that's when your true world, the step family as well as the world, your true demonic nature will show. VJ will find out how rich her family is. She'll find that her family is the gatekeepers, obviously, just like my family. I told you the reason why, as God, we're born into these families. Because these families are the gatekeepers, the rulers of the world. They're the kings and queens of the world. They're the royal families. They're the ones who open the door for everyone in the world, obviously. They control all the finances all around the world. Hence why I can't make any money, because they control all the finances around the world. If they chose to lock the doors on me, I can't make any money because they control all the finances around the world. Hence why me and my wife came in with the keys, because we needed to be able to open our own door, obviously. And VJ will find out how rich her family is. She'll find out how rich her stepsister is. Her stepsister has a multi-billion-dollar will in the bank. My stepbrothers have a multi-billion-dollar will in the bank. Because of their sons and daughters of the gatekeepers, of course they have a huge will in the bank. A multi-billion-dollar will in the bank. They never have to work again, obviously. And it's me and my wife are going to find out how rich our families really are. And so we're going to be so shocked. VJ will be so shocked. She'll be like, oh my God. This whole time you guys are the gatekeepers, you could have opened the door for me in Hollywood, obviously. You had me be a porn star, so you purposely caused a mess, obviously. This VJ's finally gonna figure out, oh my God, you purposely had me be a porn star to purposely cause mess in Ivan's life, because you guys are wicked people. when you could have easily opened the door for me and you could have had me do big budget movies in Hollywood, but you locked the doors on me and had me do these shitty indie movies. You sabotaged my results. You took all my money, obviously. Well, because VJ sold out. Technically speaking, it's their money. But VJ's movies, you always know as how they're all flops. Why? Because the doors are all locked on her. When VJ makes these movies, the whole world's watching it, obviously, but they have to sabotage her results because they don't want her gaining control, obviously. They don't want her being a billionaire. They want her to be poor, being worth under $10 million. Just like when I'm free, even though the whole world's watching my videos, I only have, 6 subscribers because the doors are all locked on me. Just like the doors are all locked on my wife. They sabotage the results. They take all her money. Just like with my videos, they sabotage my channel even though the whole world's watching my videos with 6 subscribers. Because the doors are locked on both me and my wife. So even when VJ sells, the doors are still locked on her. Because the stepfamilies, they want their full cake. No matter what, no matter which path, in other words, no matter which pathway I choose, no matter which pathway I take, the doors are locked on me completely. Even if I sold out, they would dupe me. They would take all my money, and they probably won't even have me and my wife be able to do big budget movies. And even if we did big budget movies, it's nothing compared to how much me and my wife would make if we start SkySource. Hence, the only way for me to get my financial control is if I write my own book. Hence, I now own the rights. I now own the rights to my book. Hence, now, man, because I have the keys, I don't have to sell them, and now I can make my billions. And you're fucking welcome, Victoria. As Victoria Justice's one wish is obviously to have her freedom with Ivan, obviously. As Victoria Justice isn't free because she sold out, she's a dirty slave, and she's no longer free, obviously. Right? Just like when Ivan's free, he's poor, and even though I have my freedom right now, I'm poor. I have no money for myself. I'm collecting $750 checks every month, and so I'm poor. So when VJ sells, she's a dirty slave and she's not free. She's rich, but she's not as rich as she should be. She should be a multi-billionaire, but doors are locked on her. When Ivan's free, he's fucking poor. Yeah, I'm free and I have my freedom, which is a good feeling, obviously. It's an amazing feeling to be free. You have no idea how good it feels to be free. But even though I'm free, I'm fucking poor because the doors are all locked on me. Victoria Justice, even though she has some money, she's a dirty slave and she's not free. Hence what? And Victoria Justice obviously dreams for her freedom, obviously. My one dream is to see Ivan and to get my freedom with him. That's her one dream, obviously. Because she sold out, she got duped. And it's too late. That's her only ticket out of the Hollywood system, is Ivan. As I'm her last hope, obviously. Without me, Victoria Justice will be a dirty slave forever. As the stepfathers are never going to let her see me unless I don't pay this fee, obviously, and save her, obviously. You guys are fucking. She's my wife, and you won't even let her fucking see me when she's not even your fucking wife. You guys act like you have control over my relationship when she's not even your fucking wife. You didn't create this universe, and you have the guts to act like you have the guts to have control over my relationship. But she's not even your wife. She's not your husband. I'm her husband. She's not your wife. We created this universe. You didn't create this universe. You have the guts to have control over our fucking relationship. Well, you're not even fucking God. You're our fucking creation. You have the guts to have control over our fucking relationship. But you guys are fucking crazy people. You're nothing but a mess of what I've made, man. Right? I'm going to keep saying this. My SkySource company will be top notch. You're looking at the best company, the best film branding, entering business. As in a couple years from now, I'm going to be starting SkySource. You guys are all going to remember this poor Ivan that you see now, man. Once I make that final announcement and I cry my eyes and I pay this fee and I come back from death, I see my wife and I take off to Vancouver. And I hire George Lucas and I start SkySource. You guys are all going to see all those trends. And you're going to remember this poor Ivan that you see now, man. This poor Ivan that you see this poor sabotage fat Ivan that you see on his making videos on Sabotage YouTube channel. You're going to miss him so much. You're going to remember me so well. You're going to remember Victoria Justice a lot. You're going to remember her as a sabotage trashy porn star in Hollywood. Yeah, she was famous, but her career was sabotage. You're going to remember the sabotage trashy porn star in Hollywood. And once meeting her at King Queen, you're going to go back and be like, oh my God, like I remember Ivan. I remember Ivan when he pumped out his Lord of the Rings series, when he pumped out his Miscellaneous series. I remember when he just made that final announcement, when he gave us the warnings. I remember VJ when she was posting all these videos. She had all these live interviews in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? She had all these live. And I noticed something. Ever since 2018, VJ's never done a live chat. Since 2010, VJ has been doing live chats every single year. And then once I opened her eyes, VJ since 2018, VJ has never done a live chat. Yeah, she has live interviews with the Hollywood media and all that stuff, but VJ has never done a live chat ever since 2018 with her sister. Why? Because I opened her eyes and she figured out how wicked and evil you people really are. Victoria Justice figured how wicked and evil you people really are, hence why she's no longer doing any more live chats. 2018 was VJ's last live chat with her sister. Every year she does live chats, and ever since then she's never done a live chat. She's done live interviews with the Hollywood media, obviously, to promote her what? Her movies and all that stuff. But she's never done a live chat since 2018. Why? Because Ivan O'Mara opened her eyes to the truth, and VJ found out how wicked and evil you guys really are. Hence why she's not making any more live videos for you. VJ's waiting for me. She's fucking waiting for me, man. She's waiting for me in what? She's waiting for me in Hollywood. VJ wants to get out of Hollywood, as Hollywood is she wants to get out of the Hollywood system, obviously. And hence why I want nothing to do with Hollywood, as I don't want to be a part of the Hollywood system. I want to be independent from Hollywood. Obviously. Hence why what? Hence why what? Hence why VJ's waiting for me. Oh my god, Ivan, I'm already done my book. Oh my god, Ivan, just get this for you over so I can be queen with you and I get my freedom so I can see you. Because Victoria Justice's one dream is to see me, obviously. She cries tears every night, which is fucking annoying. Because she's been seeing hell for almost 2 decades, because you guys purposely infected her. Had you not touched her, she never would have saw hell. She would have seen me. But the fact that you separated her and you touched her, knowing full I have to die, I'm proving how wicked and evil you are. And hence why my wife is not making any more live videos, because she realized how wicked and evil you really are, and she's waiting for me. All she's waiting for me is all I have to do is just I'm gonna enjoy my last 2 checks, pull up my Lord of the Rings video, make my Soon the Sharks video, make that final announcement, let my family know, I'll cry my eyes out, I pay his fee, I get that over with. And once I come from death, you guys are all gonna remember my videos. You're gonna remember all my warnings. Oh my god, Ivan's piecing out. And it's finally gonna hit your minds, oh my god, I can't believe we chose this bullshit sex over I Am Media's Amazing Glory because we were blind. Yeah, you guys were blind. You chose bullshit sex over me and Wife's Amazing Glory. I'm gonna shut my camera here.